Good morning, my beautiful souls. Come join us. Here we are, we're live. Gotta open with a banger. Let us know who's here. It's been a while, hasn't it? Can bend the will of one I'm freed. I speak and shadows must depart. My voice ignites the sleeping. Let us know. Say hi in the comments. Creation answers my demand. No ghost of guilt, no voice of fear can enter in this sovereign sphere. I walk with stars behind my edge. Get it, my darling. Let's go, people. Let us know who's joining us live this morning. Let us know in the comments. Oh, yes, we can see us live. Say hi in the comments. Are you ready for it this morning?
Yes. Are you ready for what is about to absolutely hit?
Oh. Hi, Sarah. Hi, beautiful. Let's get ready to rise, people.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready to rise? Let us know in the comments below.
So fucking ready after this year, Serena.
I know. Good morning, beautifuls. We had to start with that song because honestly, 2025, it's been chaotic. Let us know in the comments. How has this year been for you? Has it been the real true year of the snake, the shedding, the year 9, the karmic releases? I know me and Laura have really felt it this year, and this is what we're going to be speaking about today, just so that you know that you're not alone in your journey with what it is that you've been experiencing this year. I know through a couple of the events that I've done this year, and I know I've not done many this year, and there's been a reason for it, because like I say, a year 9, it's kicked my ass, and I've been in a personal year 9 too. So let me know, do you know what year you've been in? And if you've been in a year 9 yourself too, Jews, it's been a bit turbulent at times, shall we say, but then it's been extremes, hasn't it? It's been like, it's been the year where I've had the most releases, the most healing, really gone to some depths, and then I've been like feeling so blessed and peaceful. So there's always something that's serving us within those deeper releases. So we're going to share more about that with you soon. Let us know in the comments who's joining us. Say hi. We can see people here joining us, which is beautiful. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Chrissy. Hi, Jean. It's beautiful to see you all again, my lovelies. So let us know who is here with us this morning. Don't be shy. And let us know as well, is this the first time in this group that you're catching us live? We've had a lot of new people join the group. So just let us know, is this your first time, being a part of our world and what we're all about? So hi, if you're new, I'm Serena. I'm the founder and creator of Going Beyond the Veil, which is a wonderful modality that really helps you have a deeper spiritual connection and have the most powerful and profound spiritual healing. Yeah, that there is. You get to be held in such a wonderful space, and we'll be sharing more about that with you soon, because I am joined with the fabulous Laura G. Yeah, the master light language activator. Let me tell you, I know she's so humble.
It's like these things come through and you're like, it's just me. It's just me. I'm just here, just channeling what wants to come through me.
I know. And it's so extraordinary, though, because I remember very early on in your journey, Laura, when, this information came through and you were told that you were going to be a master light language activator. And you were like, no, I can't do that. And then when your light language came through, it was so, so powerful. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, whoa, here she is. She's arrived.
I was like, hang on a minute, I can't even channel light language. But then I was told that I'm going to be online, like talking like an alien. Like,
yeah, I remember that when you were like,
oh,
I'm gonna be talking like an alien. Oh
no,
man.
no, that's not me. They've got the wrong message. It's definitely not meant for me. And then, yeah,
Oh,
it's insane because anyone that hears it from me, they always have a much different experience. And there's quite a lot of people that just get instantly activated, or instant healings, or instant messages, or whatever's right for people will just come through. So it's an amazing gift, and I feel incredibly lucky to have
yes.
access to it.
Yeah, you've activated so many people, and this is the thing, like when we set intentions, when, we're channeling, whether that be energy, or whether it just be like literally using your voice box as a way to send out a transmission. Yeah, in the activation, because don't forget, our voices are instruments. Our voices carry frequency. Every time we speak, it's a frequency. The words that we use are spells, that create the reality around us. So, by using this instrument that we have, even through using our voice, we can activate people. Yet with Laura's light language, it's even more profound. Like I say, I remember the first time, I think we were at your dinner table, weren't we? And I was like, oh, just do it. You did it. And I was just like, whoa, oh my goodness. Like I just could see like the trajectory of your journey from that moment of where you would, kind of be now, and where you're going to head to with this, because this is the age that we're in now. We're in the age of remembrance, where we're remembering these unique, abilities that we all have. This is not just unique to Laura or myself. I can speak light language, but it depends on when it wants to activate, when it wants to come through. Whereas with Laura, setting that intention, allowing herself to be the vessel, for these light codes to come through to help, like I say, in whatever way possible. So whether that be healing, whether it be activation, whether it just be a holding yourself in that frequency. And that's what I ask Laura to do for me quite frequently. The amount of times I send a voice note to Laura, like, can you just send me some language to clear the path? I've hit a roadblock. Can you just clear this? And she does. And honestly, it clears the path ahead. It is so magical and works wonders for so many things. So let us know in the comments, would you like to receive that? Are you open to receive it? Where are you in your light language journey? Because I know we have, people at so many different levels in their spiritual awakening in this group. So just let us know, where are you? Do you know what light language actually is? And are you open to receive it for a first timer, a newcomer that might not know? We've had loads, where people are like, what's light language? And then literally after one of these transmissions, they're like speaking it. And they're like, I don't know what's happening. So please know that if it does get activated, it is normal. Again, this is a way of being now. This is the big shift that we're shifting through. This huge metamorphosis, that we're going through, that we're experiencing at the moment. And this is why this year has been so important. It's been really, really significant. So if you've been feeling it too, we're sending love to you, because like I say, it's felt like a real upheaval at times, and when I say upheaval, I mean like emotional upheaval. Like, one day you could be feeling like on top of the world, like you've got everything together, and then literally the next day, whoa, it's you feel something under the surface bubbling up, and it's requiring us to kind of carve out that space now, really come into balance with ourselves, carve out that space, sit with it, really sit with those emotions and see how powerfully they shift when you do. This is what the quickening is all about now. It's no longer the awakening, it's the quickening. Yeah, we're quickly going through these radical, rapid changes within us, and some of that is just being able to recognize where our subconscious has been playing out repeated patterns. And our subconscious is closely linked to, our spiritual lessons that we came here with, the karmic lessons, because everything since the start of creation, so this goes into all of your past lives too, not just this lifetime, has been stored. It's like a memory bank, your subconscious is. Yeah. So it remembers lives between lives. So when you've spent your time in the spiritual realms, and this is why it's easy when we access this part of us to be able to connect, to the higher realms, to our higher levels of consciousness. It's all through the mind. Like the Hermetic principle says, everything is mental, and it really is, because it's all within the mind. So if we want to dig deep to release things, we've got to go into the subconscious mind. If we want to access higher wisdom, we've got to go into the higher consciousness of our minds. And if we want to go like really big and really bold and really brash with it, then we go to the superconscious, which is the connection to all that is. Like, this is the magic that we have within inside each and every one of us. Yeah. And that's why going within is so imperative in your journey, because the information, the realizations that you will have, the actualizations, all come from within, and they all come up to the surface for a reason. So this is why this year's felt big. It's been a year 9 in numerology. If you do not know about that with the cycles, year 9 is about closing, clearing, especially karmic, attachments, karmic lessons. So you might have felt like, a lot's come up around that this year. So like big releases, like I've said, with patterns, and we've noticed it within patterns of behavior and kind of like our mindset as well. So it's like changing the lens of how you see yourself, how you see others, how you see everything around you, how it's all interconnected, intertwined with each other. And literally you sit there and you're like, whoa, you can blow your own mind, can't you? I know that you've had some really big realizations this year, haven't you, Laura, as well?
Yeah.
It's just insane, isn't it?
I just don't know where to start. I mean, a year ago, I was well on my healing journey, right? And I thought I was, in a place where the boundaries were there and I was stepping into my power and had a good idea of where my path was moving forward. And I remember I posted online just over a year ago. I was like, I'm not going to be working with clients for a little while because I just feel like something's coming up. I didn't know if I was being moved abroad or what that looked like. And then a masculine came into my life. As I'm sure lots of people watching might have heard of the idea of soul contracts, soul connections, twin flames, and all that jazz. An intense pull, energetic pull to this person. And just as Serena said, the journey was some amazing highs and wonderful experiences, but then also some incredible lows, like really incredible lows. But because of the awareness that I have, Serena has, around everything that we are experiencing in life, everything, people, situations, the way people treat us, the way people talk to us, all of it is all a reflection of what's going on inside of ourselves. So me being me, because I've learned my way of being, my survival mechanisms from being a young girl, I was trying to keep the peace, trying to make things better for this person, and believing that this is a soul connection. And I understood the trauma and the really tough childhood this person had. And so I was making excuses and I was there to try and fix and heal and and completely abandoning myself. And so, it was just an insane journey. And then each time there was like something that went on, it's like, okay, so what do I need to? I'm reflecting in myself here. What part of me what part of me is an energetic match to experiencing this behavior? What part of me believes that this is who I am to deserve this or to be treated like this? And each time I was going back to memories of dad or my brother, which was amazing. And then obviously you get to the point on your healing journey where you're like, absolutely no, I'm not tolerating this. I am no longer an energetic match, because I transmuted those frequencies inside me enough to then be able to make that conscious choice. And I had this conversation with somebody recently, and there's a lot of conversation out there about spiritual toxicity when people are like, they're my twin flame, I've got to be with them. And yes, we feel, I mean, Serena and I have both know how intense this connection, this pull can be. It makes no sense. There's connections in the astral, in all different realms. You're telepathic with people, and it's there and it's real. And we're not saying that. And yes, I get when people say, there's no excuse for abuse. Absolutely. And we're not saying there is. But on some level, there is something that is bringing that person into your world to show you something. And if you are strong enough in your mind to say, that's a boundary, I'm walking away, and close the door, amazing. But when you find that you have these strong connections, you go back for more, and you go back for more, and you go back for more. Because there is a part of you on some level that believes or feels or knows yourself to be the one who deserves that behavior. And that might make no sense on the surface, right? But just to bring that into your awareness, I thought I had an amazing childhood. My dad was working really hard. He was incredibly stressed at work. He didn't have a lot of time for us as children. Of course he didn't, because he was focusing on being a good dad and bringing the money in and all of the other things. But to a young girl who was dismissed by her parents, who had a mum who didn't have the time to give her the love and attention that she required, and didn't have a dad who gave her the love and attention that she required, she soon learned to, and then I'm talking about myself here, I soon learned to become a person to please dad, to be really happy and grateful for the breadcrumbs of attention that he'd give me. To when dad would say, you know, I want a back massage or whatever it is, I'd be like, yeah, I can do that. I'll do that for you, dad, because I'm desperate for you to like me and to see me and notice me and validate me and want me, because that was who I was, a little girl desperate for dad's attention. Right? When he used to get the Daily Mail paper, and he'd get all these scratch cards. He had like 50 scratch cards, and every day he'd bring this paper home and he'd want me to mark off. And of course I was like, yes, I'll do it. Anything I can do to please you, just give me some attention. Obviously not like that, but now I realize. And so the universe brought this masculine into my life last year, who literally reflected all of that. I was the one who believed I deserved breadcrumbs. I was the one who believed it was okay for person to be nice, and then outburst of anger. And I recognized that survival mechanism when I felt, oh, just stay still, stay quiet, you'll be all right, you'll survive. I was like, fuck me. I didn't even realize I was carrying this in my body. But that person reflected it all. And then as soon as I've gone in, healed, released, I'm like, nope, that's no longer, that's not me anymore. That's not me. So thank you. Amazing. Brilliant. I love the journey. No, I did love parts of the journey. It was tough. But there's growth for you. There's growth.
It is. And this is the thing, you know, like, as obviously when you're in the healing space and you have the awareness of healing, and, you know, we then are trained in healing modalities as that empath in us, you know, from that being that child of wanting to fix things, you know, from walking on eggshells and picking up the atmosphere, the tension, you know, the energy we could sense. And I know there's a lot of empaths in this group, so obviously if any of this is resonating with you, or you can relate to what we're speaking about here, then please let us know in the comments, because this is what we do as empaths. You know, we've got this amazing gift of being highly attuned sensitively, you know, so then we're picking up on all these cues. Yeah, when we're picking up on those cues as adults, we then take on the responsibility to fix others, you know. And this is what's been huge, especially within my journey these past 3 years, is really looking closely at that and being able to see that actually they're not my responsibility. And then being grateful as well, like with what you've just shared there around the reflection of the lessons, you know. And this is the thing, like, we can think that we're so far along in our healing journey, and then we can meet another soul contract that can just be, you know, it's the catalyst, isn't it? It's the key, is what my spirit guides always say, you know, because I'm always there like questioning things like, is this karmic? Is this twin flame? Is this, what is this? And my guides always turn around and say it's none of that, it's a key. And I'm like, what do you mean a key? And it is like all our soul contracts hold a key. And it's a key for us. Like, they're the only ones that hold that key for us to unlock something within us so that we can get to the next level. Yet when they're unlocking that key, we have to be ready and at the right level to be able to have the awareness to see the reflection back to us too. Because otherwise you just continue it, don't you? And this is why a lot of us are in this healing space, you know, and we're talking about things, you know, of a spiritual nature, because it's all about having faith in something, you know what I mean? Having faith, having hope, you know, that really helps pull us through real big challenges in our lives. And this is the thing, by having a spiritual connection doesn't mean that all challenges go away. It doesn't at all. It just means that you develop in your journey a higher perspective, a different lens on how you can see things. Because I'll never forget when my spirit guides told me about my ex, who's the father of my son, and I really wanted to make him the victim. I really wanted to make him the victim because, there was a lot of things that happened in that relationship. I won't go into the details of it. Yeah, I felt like a victim when I came out of it. And so I was, doing everything that I could to really point the finger at him and make him the perpetrator. Yeah, it wasn't until my spirit guides came in and they were like, stop making people the villains of your story. Let's have a closer look at this. Let's have a look at you, what's within you that's attracting this, and that's where, having a spiritual connection can really help guide you in your healing journey. So a lot of people want a spiritual connection, or they'll go to mediums or tarot readers and it'll be, tell me what's coming, tell me about the future. You know what I mean? We just want to know. We want some kind of level of predictability in our lives, don't we? And certainty. So we're searching for it all the time, aren't we? Like, just tell me what it is, tell me what my purpose is, and this is the beauty of it, because our guides will guide us for our spiritual lessons. So it's not always around, like the big things of, tell me about my purpose. And this has been a real profound shift that I've had this year, especially with, like I say, with what I've released, deepening my devotion to my spiritual connection. So this is what they've had me focusing on. This is why I've not shown up live much. I've not held events, because I am deeply devoted to my spiritual connection. And if my spirit guides say, whoa, we've got to take a step back here, because there's some things that are coming to the surface that we really need to look at. You're in a personal year 9, Serena. I think you need to really understand. They were banging on at the start of the year when around April time, when my birthday was, and they were like, going, it's a year 9, Serena. I'm like, oh yeah, I know. They're like, no, it's a year 9. I'm like, I know. Then I'm like, oh my God, it's a year 9. Like, shit. They were trying to warn me. They were trying to prepare me for it, and I had no idea. So there I am in my thinking mind, trying to think my way forward, making plans. And then I've got my spiritual connection saying, no, because they can see more of what the bigger picture is looking like. And they can see the emotional roller coaster that I'm going to be on this year, which was like, whoa, like this hanging on for dear life at times. Like, like there's that meme out there, isn't it, where it's like that on that roller coaster and screaming. That's literally what it's felt like for me this year, like just so turbulent at times, yet like I say, so profound. Like the shifts have been extreme. Like the deeper we go, the higher we go, and it really has felt like that, because I've dug up some depths that I've had moments where I've been literally crying with peace and joy and feeling so blessed because of the release. And those releases have been quick as well. This is what's part of that quickening. You can have a quick release now, and then as soon as you kind of sat with it and had the realization of what it's trying to show you within that, then you release it and then you elevate it. You're back into that state of feeling blessed, feeling grateful, like I say, feeling joyful. And if you're finding it difficult to be in those emotions, all it means is that you need to just do a little bit of digging. And when we say a little bit of digging, it can just be as simple as sitting with yourself. Like yesterday, I sat with myself because I felt myself like feeling angry. Just woke up feeling angry. And I was like, why am I feeling angry? Like, this is not me. I've shifted a lot of, what would trigger my anger, but I was feeling really angry and I was distracting myself. So again, let me know in the comments, do you do this? You can feel the emotion there, but you just don't want to go there. Like, you just haven't got time for it today or things like that. Like I say, you could just be so stuck in the energy of it. You're just like, I just want to stay in it. Like, and I was a bit like that yesterday. I was like, I'm just going to stay in this like rage inside. And then I was like, what are you doing? Like, I had to have a word with myself and be like, what are you doing? Like, you know what you need to do here. You need to sit. So I just sat down and I literally just started journaling out, like, why am I feeling angry today? Who am I actually angry with or about? Like, what is going on here? And then I started journaling. As soon as I started journaling, the answers started coming. And then literally I just felt it release and transmute out my body. That's simple. That's simple. I felt the shift like that. And I was like, why was I delaying that? And this is another thing that we can do, like when we're in those emotions, because it's familiar for us to suppress it, to just be, to allow it, and then let it ripple out and affect everyone around us as well. I know my son felt a little bit of the grumpiness yesterday morning, and that's again what made me realize. I was like, I don't really want to be like this with him. So why am I not sitting with it? Why am I not dealing with it? And again, that can be part of like how we abandon ourselves in our journey. And again, that's what's been profound for me this year, looking at the ways that I abandon myself, and coming back to myself, remembering myself, returning so that I can rise. And this is what this year's been about. It's been about clearing out, shedding it, because it's been the year of the snake, and really felt like we've been shedding some right skin. I'm like, I've got no skin left to shed. Please, please, divine, can that be it? And I do. I feel the shift is here, which is beautiful. This is why we're showing up today, because it's like a bit of a celebration. Me and Laura want to celebrate. We want to celebrate.
Like that. We've been saying, haven't we? We're like, well, I'm feeling good today. Is this me? Am I over it? Because we're so used to like the next day. Oh, there's something else. There's something else coming. I mean, just from carrying on from what Serena was saying there were times where I know for myself, and probably yourself as well, Serena, I have literally been on my knees this year. There was a time where I was literally ringing a woman's homeless hostel, right? Because for me, I don't have family that I can go to. There's not many friends in my world anymore that, that I can go to, because so much has been shedded away from me. And that I'm not sharing that, for any sort of pity or anything, but this has been the reality of my situation. But because I've got such a strong trust and knowing, I've looked at everything to be like, okay, so what is this showing me? It's not victim mode, like, why is this happening to me and poor me and It's okay. How am I feeling? I'm feeling helpless. I'm feeling pretty shit right now. I'm feeling like completely alone. And do you know what that showed me? How much I've been giving my power away. How much, well, all of my power has been given away to trying to be the one who makes it better for everybody else, to be the one who looks after everybody else and puts everybody else's needs first. And I was still doing it. And I was like, holy fuck, it was mental. But yeah, just as Serena says, it's that choice, isn't it? You notice something going on in your life. Somebody might crash into your car and you can go, they're effing this and that. Why has that happened? Or you can go, okay, that's happened for a reason. What's the learning from that? What's the growth? How am I feeling? What is this emotion and where is it from? Do I need to know where it's from, or do I just need to sit with the emotion? And then once you have that like level of awareness, you literally get to respond to life and see what is going on in your life, how people are talking to you, how people are treating you, what is happening, what is going on in here. Because as you've said so many times, as within, so without. It is literally a key. It's like the most incredible code once you get to see this and have this level of awareness. It just feels like such a gift, because now it's almost like, wow, we can literally transmute and transform anything that happens. And with that comes immense freedom and power.
Liberation.
It's insane. It really is. And I think you and I have both been to some depths this past year.
Politely.
Yeah. Which now it's like, oh, are we going to be emerging?
We feel like we're just peeking out of the cave. Like, is it safe to come out? Is it safe to emerge?
Yeah. Can we actually step into our power now and actually bring the things that we have to the world? Please.
Yes, yeah. And it does. It feels like that shift, And this is it. When we're talking about reclaiming our power, that is it. Literally just what you've said, Laura, like it's having that lens, having that awareness, and then trusting yourself as well within this journey to sit with it. Just allow. Sometimes it's about honoring the emotions that we're feeling rather than thinking that we've got to do something with them. Oh my God, I've got to fix this. I've got to fix, because again, that's just doing what we're doing out there, trying to do it to us within here.
Yeah, but just on that note as well, it's important that I should add, with that, as soon as I felt that, as soon as I allowed myself to feel the utter crapness of everything that was going on, the universe literally gifted me the most beautiful home. Because basically my dream is to do a lot of traveling, which I happen to be going to Thailand tomorrow, and come back from Morocco, and then I'm going to be living in Spain for the spring, which is amazing. But I just needed a base in the UK. And the universe, like literally out of and this wasn't from action, this wasn't from me doing, it wasn't from my thinking mind, none of it. The universe was just like, amazing opportunity, Laura. There you go. And then there's something else that's happened as well in the background, which means like it's basically somewhere free to live in. It's an absolute dream home, dream destination, beautiful people around me. I mean, I was socializing with like a world-class artist last night, a potter, and he's
Mm.
invited me to go around and get on his pottering wheel this afternoon. So I might do that. It's just random experiences and
So
opportunities.
cool.
Like incredibly successful
Mhm.
people, incredibly um quirky and different people, and I'm like, these people are now my social circle. Like, thank you, universe. That was definitely worth going through some tough times for. And this is
Yeah,
what happens every time, isn't it? Every time you go down a really deep place, you allow yourself to feel, and then every time without fail, I absolutely promise you, you are gifted and rewarded for it, right?
absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think that's the reward of that awareness of self, and like say honoring and
Mhm.
having that compassion towards yourself, because it's like you can see it clearly. Like if you have a look at the people that are around you, that surround you, like I often look at like my ex, my son's dad, and the way he sees the world is very negative. It is like he'll be grumping about something. You know what I mean? Every time I see him, when he drops my son off or picks him up, he's grumping about something. And then it's just he just attracts all these like bad experiences. It's like one after the other after the other. And I'm like, they're like, I meet so many wonderful people on a day-to-day basis that go out their way for me. And I know why that is. That's because of all the inner work that I've done for myself to
Mm.
then really have a different kind of level of compassion for others. And when that compassion is there, it wants to interact in that way. It wants to hold people in that light as well and just be the light.
Mm.
And if you can find your own light and you then be the light, guess what you're doing? You're spreading the light, you're shining the light. So wherever I go, I know I'm bringing the light now. And again, that's the work that I've had to do this year, though, to really see my own light. And
Yeah.
that's not been easy. It's really not been easy. Like you might be looking at me and Laura now going, whoa, they can show up and they do, they just talk away and all this lot. And I want to be able to do that and I'll never be able to do that. Oh my days, you have not, like I say, seen the work that we've had to do on ourselves to
Mm.
really find our own light, to stand in our light, to love ourselves, to hold ourselves, to have compassion for ourselves, to then actually be in this position now where we're like, I'm ready to bloody rise. You know what I mean? I am ready to rise now. You ask me that 12 months ago and I'd have been like, okay. Like, what does the universe want me to do? Like kind of stepping forward like that. Now I'm like, I feel like I'm just gone boom out the doors going, no, I'm coming for you now, universe.
Yeah.
In that sense. And again, this is feeling the energy though of the new year
Mm.
coming in, that we're in that transitional period at the moment where it's going to be a little bit overlapping. My guides told me it'll be overlapping for the first 3 months of the year because really when things kick off is around the spring equinox anyway. Yeah, it's a year of the fire horse. The fire horse. Yeah, so we've gone from the snake shedding its skin, multi-layered
Too much.
yeah, too much skin. It's now literally skinless. The snake is this.
It's a piece of muscle.
Yeah, it's the muscle it's born with. And now we're feeling the rise of the passion and the energy and the fire start coming in. So let me know in the comments, are you starting to feel that shift in energy? If you've been through a little bit of a turbulent year, or like I say, you've just felt the brutality of the emotional roller coaster at times, or you've been in a space of like, geez, like it's never ending. Like I thought I'd closed that chapter in my life and oh my God, it's back again, or it's repeating. What is going on? Again, it was just an ultimate kind of like finale, of clearing the way, so that we can become more light. And when I say more light, it's like it's releasing emotional baggage. It really is. Do you know what I mean? Because any emotional baggage makes us heavy, makes us dense.
Yeah.
So every time we heal, we're becoming lighter and lighter and lighter. And like I say, healing can happen just through having a realization. You don't need to be in like a healing session for that to happen. Yeah, if you want obviously it to be deep, profound, powerful, then absolutely. Like we go to healers, we go to the same healer, Phoenix, once a month. We're like, come on, let's work on this, let's work on that. that we're dedicated to our healing journey. We know it's going to be never ending as such, yet we know sometimes it's going to be more like in that healing hold. Do you know what I mean? And this is another thing that my spirit guide said to me, because I've heard this language going around, like being in a healing hole, and people going, you shouldn't be in a healing hole, and that's not healthy. And my guides explained it, like when we're in that space, when we're having multiple healing sessions, or we're just feeling like, oh my gosh, I need to heal this, I need to heal that, and it's okay, because what's actually happening is you're in a healing holding. Healing holding, you're being held in that space spiritually by your spiritual team, whether you're connected to them or not, it does not matter. They are there regardless. So this is where trust is key, because soon as you trust that they are there, they'll start showing you signs everywhere. They will. So that's all they're asking of you, is just to trust, because they're going to help you anyway. It doesn't matter. They're helping you right now, whether, like I say, you notice it or not. They're always sending you guidance, whether it's signs, synchronicities, miracles, magical moments, however they come in. It's all orchestrated as part of your spiritual team, bringing in those blessings for you and helping you shift into that higher awareness, that higher perspective. So they're holding you through anything that you're going through. So again, this year's felt a big one in that. We're dedicated to the healing path, and now we can be here feeling this shift in energy, ready to emerge, ready for what this fire horse energy is going to bring. And it's going to bring a lot of passion, a lot of that fire energy. So if you think about fire, it's passionate energy, isn't it? It's like, come on, let's get going now. Let's go, go, go. And again, it's about holding more light, because there's going to be more light coming our way next year. There's like going to be this big wave of light, and we're all going to feel it. We're all going to feel it, especially those that have been doing the work will feel it even more, because they're ready to hold more light. The more light we can hold as vessels down here, the better, not just our reality becomes, but the better reality it comes for everyone. Every time we heal the whole. Every time we hold more light, we light up this place. Like you would not believe. And this is what it's about, that shift in balance now. So if you're here wondering what your purpose is, a big profound shift for me this year, like I say, with what my guides have been working with me, they've literally said, like, let's stop chasing purpose, because your presence is your purpose. Your presence is your purpose. You are your purpose. Like right here in this moment, you are the purpose. Being here. So you can develop that in any way that you want to develop that. And the more I connect with that, guess what my guides want me doing more of? Just meditating. Literally, like meditating in my presence, in that energy, really working in the quantum, seeing how things are all connected, how things shift, how you can elevate. You're and really open up your heart space when you're in that energy, and you're just like radiating it out. To, like I say, your closest, nearest and dearest, then to the street, the community, then to the world. Imagine if we were all doing that. We all 10 minutes out a day just to connect to that energy. Just imagine, all around the world, you'll be guaranteed to connect with someone that's found the same time as you, and you're all just connected like a web of light going out. And this is what I feel the real shift is moving us to now, really shifting us into knowing that our presence is powerful. And it really, really is, because we are transitioning. We are going through this metamorphosis. We are becoming more light, so we can hold more light and anchor more light into this planet. Like we say no more to the nonsense that's going on out there, the chaos. We calm in the chaos. We become, that anchor that really steadies the ship, because don't forget, we're going through this big separation, this big divide, where people will still remain in their darkness. They will, and it's not our responsibility. We're not here to fix anyone. We're not here to save anyone. Remember, no one's coming to save us. It has to be us that saves ourselves from anything. We don't need saving. We just need to sit and realize a lot of things, like how our childhood wounds. And again, this is not about blaming or shaming either. It's about recognizing these things, allowing them to come up and holding yourself through it, having, like I say, that compassion for self. As soon as you can have compassion for self, then you can start having real, true compassion for others. And this is the space that we need to be in, and allowing through this separation, just allowing, if people want to stay in their darkness, they can stay in their darkness. Yet we're going to be over here radiating joy, radiating love, light, and trust me, people will start to feel it. And this is the thing, people really really feel your light when you shine your light. And there'll be people out there wanting to dim your light. So again, it's about protecting your light in that space and knowing that you are protected. Your guides have your back. They have your back, people. Just ask them for further assistance if you need any more protection, because they will come in, whether it be Archangel Michael with his sword of quartz. I always see him with a sword of quartz crystal, like ready, to protect and defend and, and hold us through, like I say, anything that we're going through. So hopefully you're finding this conversation interesting. Let me know in the comments. Like I say, the journey that we've been through, and like I say, getting excited now, about the year ahead. So if you've had, like I say, a tough year, please join us in this energy right now, in this honoring of the journey that we've been through, the epic journey of the soul. That's what it's all about. It's
yeah, absolutely. And
let's just celebrate. You still with me?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
am I here?
I don't know where I've gone.
You're here for me.
I think I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Yeah, that was strange. I felt like Archangel Michael. That was Archangel Michael coming, showing up with his sword, messing around with the Wi-Fi.
I was just going to say, Serena, with what you were saying, when you're saying about people are going to be choosing, are they going to be transmuting and releasing the energy that's not serving them, and therefore allowing in the light and being able to anchor that into the grid as well? But this is a choice, isn't it? And it's sometimes coming back to the basics of, are we choosing to put our energy and attention and focus on things that make us feel naff and crap and powerless? Like the 3D things. A couple of times this week, people have mentioned things to me like, oh, Agenda 30, or digital IDs, or, all of this stuff. And I'm like, that is not in my reality. I am not spending any time or giving that any attention or awareness whatsoever. Because do you know what? If I allowed myself to really think about those things, it would make me feel a bit naff inside. Am I choosing that for myself? Absolutely not. And therefore I'm not creating that. So when we're in this space and we're here to bring the light, and we're here for the new earth, we're here to bring in the golden age, whatever we want to call that, we need to have absolute responsibility for what we're talking about, what we're putting our energy and attention and focus on. Because guess what? Just with the light, when we're starting to talk and let those things consume us, or drama, people's drama, this person said this and this is going on, and actually, no, protect your own peace, because you are a vessel of the light. And this is the sort of level of awareness that we really need to be having now moving forward. And when you mentioned about Joe, having, obviously patterns, people, situations, circumstances keep coming back the same and same and same. With our level of awareness, we know that something is there for him to feel. How is this situation making us feel? What is going on? What is going on a deeper level? And what part of him believes that his way of being should be experiencing that? And this is the awareness that what I would like to bring to anybody watching today is, if you are feeling like, oh, I'm here again, this is happening again, these people are treating me like this again, I'm the one who has to do this again, I'm the one who's being disrespected, I'm being taken for granted, Yes, we're not saying those things aren't happening. They are, and they are valid. However, there is a part of you that believes that is your way of being, to be the one that is disrespected, the one that is not appreciated. But also the other side of that is, how can you respect yourself? How are you disrespecting yourself? How are you not appreciating yourself? How are you not choosing yourself? And this one's been a huge one, I think, for both of us again this year, isn't it? Because if we want love, consideration, understanding, respect, appreciation from those out there, guess what? We got to give it to ourselves first and foremost. And that's something I really, really did not do at all. I gave it to everybody else. I didn't realize I was giving it to other people, because really it was my little Laura, my inner child, that desperately wanted those things. And then I've learned to give them to myself as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which then helps to transmute the stuff going on inside me, which then allows me to hold more light, to bring in more light into the world.
Be a cleaner, purified vessel as well. As we move through the healing journey, that's another thing that takes place. Like, we get cleansed. It's like a cleansing and a purification so that we can reach the higher levels as well. Like, we can't take this with us, this density with us, if we want to access the higher realms. We have to make ourselves more light, and like I say, that's a cleansing. It's the purification of it, and having that awareness and lens of ourselves. It always starts with self. Know thyself. That's why that's commonly known out there. Know thyself. Yeah, a lot of us think that, oh, that means I'm self-absorbed, or being selfish. No, it does not. It means that you're honoring yourself. Again, we have to think about the language that has been out there as part of the conditioning and programming, because they don't want you sitting with yourself, because it's powerful when you do. So we think it's a bad thing to do it, because, oh my God, it will mean that I'm self-absorbed, like I say, or being selfish. Yeah, it's not. It's the most profound thing you'll ever find in your journey doing that. And this is why, being a part of, this community, running this community, a part of what we do within the work that we do within Going Beyond the Veil, it's all about holding you and allowing you to find the answers within you. Yeah, like I say, to know thyself, and who you meet in that space will just be extraordinary. It can be your spirit guides, it can be galactic guides, which we're going to come on to in a second. Galactic guides, it can be crossed over loved ones. Like, literally, it's a surprise to us as much as it will be you who's going to meet you there in that space. Yeah, it's all about just being held beautifully by, one of our facilitators. Whilst you're in that meeting, whilst you're connected more to your higher self, you're receiving higher up wisdom coming through, and then you're being held in, like I say, a holding space of healing. It's beautiful. And this is everything that we've been speaking about. And this is why Going Beyond the Veil is such a big part of that, because if you're struggling to do that, guess what? Going Beyond the Veil will help you. Going Beyond the Veil will help you receive that guidance, receive that connection back to self. As soon as you connect back to self, then you can connect to all that is. That's how it has to happen. Like with what Laura was saying, if someone's mistreating you, yeah, rather than thinking, oh, they're mistreating me and I'm going to put up my boundaries, sometimes we have to look first at, how am I treating myself like that? That's what the true reflection is. So if you're feeling that someone's abandoning you, how am I abandoning me? Or someone's disrespecting me, how am I disrespecting me? First and foremost, not just looking at what's, like what's within, I'm not a vibrational match for that. I'm moving away from that, because trust me, you'll just keep meeting it. It will turn up in so many different guises, because you've not got to, like I say, the root problem of having that lens of looking within and going, oh, I must be doing that to myself somewhere. Where am I doing that? And as soon as you see it, you then have the compassion for yourself through it, compassion for them. And just through that realization alone, you will see a shift in that other person's behavior. I can guarantee it. I've seen miracles happen from me changing the lens I have of myself, and then of them, and then of the situation, and then it just shifts like miraculously. They're not behaving
They
like
literally
that
shift.
anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
They literally they change person. It's
Changed.
so
They've not
weird.
even done any healing.
Yeah. God, yeah, I see that all the time. And but I tell people, they're like, no. But
Yeah.
literally, your friends, your family, your people in your world literally change when you go and do the healing. But just coming back to what you were saying about spiritual connection, Serena, because when Serena came into my life, I had zero spiritual connection at all. I was a person who didn't even know that there was anything out there. I thought we lived in this physical 3D world and that was it. Like we die and zero, nothing. And Serena came into my awareness and I was like, oh my God, do I have spirit guides? Is there a spirit team for me? Like everybody else gets like messages and spirit guides and they speak to spirit and they get feelings and they get message and I don't get anything. There's nobody there for me. So then I had my I think my first Going Beyond the Veil session with you, didn't I? And I was in a place where I didn't trust because I'd never had any experiences before, and I was also in that place of just feeling massively not good enough. I was a person that always put everybody else on a pedestal. I was just here to serve. I was little. I was nothing. I was a nobody. And that was basically my whole identity, my whole being before I started to really embark on this whole healing journey and spiritual journey. And then the profoundness of that first session. Oh, no, it was the second session, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, the second one.
So if you're a person that feels like, oh, I want to really tap into spirituality and I want to see what's there and I want to explore the world of non-physical. So the second session I had with Serena, and the first session was good. It's just that I weren't trusting what was coming through. I verbalized what I'd felt and what I'd seen, but obviously I was like, did it work? Didn't it work? I've just made it all up. Nothing's happened there. And so I booked in for a second session, and I was laid on my bed. So this is like a deep meditation. I had my headphones on. Serena was on the Zoom screen. And I put my eye mask on as well because I didn't really meditate at the time, or any, I had no awareness. And then Serena's taking me through the session, and I'm just laughing my head off. So basically, what I felt or imagined, where your imagination comes from somewhere, right? It's spirit working through us. We just call it our imagination. Was this almighty being stood there with this like massive green rock, this crystal, and it was like he was stood at the end of where I was laying. And then my body just started convulsing, right? And I can't remember where I was speaking like. I can't remember what was going on, but my body was just doing all of this weird stuff and I was making all of this weird noise. And I remember it, like you were feeling the energy from
Yeah, it was so powerful.
Yeah. It was
it's like I could see you were talking me through it and the energy was coming through you. And it was like you were going through this huge activation, to the point where I was feeling the transference of the energy. Like, and this is on a Zoom call, like this wasn't in person, this was on Zoom. And this is how powerful energy can work when we're holding this space. Like it was taking my breath away, like the power of the activation that Laura was experiencing. And then it was just like, after that.
So needless to say, after my second Going Beyond the Veil session, I was like, okay, this is real. Because the movements my body was making, it was like I was lifting myself off the bed. I'm like, I'm not consciously thinking this is what I want. I don't consciously want to make these weird noises to this lady who's holding me through a session. It was the strangest thing, but the most profound experience. So I just wanted to add that as well, because if there's anybody out there who's doubting or not feeling that they connect or anything, Going Beyond the Veil massively, massively propelled my journey forward. But even now, having said that, I don't feel like I see beings or hear beings. Some people do and some people don't, but we are all very different. And it is all about that place of just trusting what is there for you. So for me, I just feel like I have this knowing. It's just there. I'll just pick up the phone to Serena and say some words, and she's like, oh, I've just had that exact same thought. And then that's how I know that I'm in alignment, because I just see the synchronicities play out. Whereas some people literally have, I have a friend who is insane with like, you'll be with her and she'll connect to your entire spirit team, all of your ancestors, your auntie, your great uncle, all have got messages for you. And it's just all there. And I'm like, oh my God, that's insane. So we're all so different as well. So whatever it is for you, you might see things, you might get images, you might feel things, colors, numbers, you might just have this knowing. I just think it's worth mentioning that, because for so long I was like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I have a spiritual connection? But we all do. It's in ourselves. It's already there. We don't have to.
We're spirit. That's the main thing, isn't it? We're all a soul within this vessel. We're all spirit, So you want to connect to spirit, you've got to really connect to your own spirit first to be able to communicate, because they don't communicate in the same ways that we do, in the physical, in the non-physical. They're not, when we say we don't see anything, like the amount of people in sessions that I would hold and they'd be like, oh, it's just like a light, an orb. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we all are. Like, without this vessel, without this physicality, we're all just orbs of light. So when your spirit guides are around you, that's what they look like, orbs of light. This is why, when you're taking photos and you see orbs. Yeah, I remember when I was pregnant with my son, and my stepmom took a video of my tummy, because she wanted to see. And literally when we played it out, oh my goodness, the amount of orbs that were racing around my tummy. I was like, oh my days. And that was before I even went through, this deeper part of my awakening. I was just like blown away by that, seeing that. Yet now I'd be like, whoa, like that is some powerful energy going on there, and I'd know what it would be linked to, because all I would need to do is just sit with it and ask my guides. like they're there, on tap. And sometimes they'll speak to me. Sometimes I have to journal it out. Sometimes, like what Laura says, it will be a knowing. Sometimes I see, not always. Even in meditation, sometimes I see, not always. It might be like a knowing, or words, feelings, sensations. I noticed some smells recently as well. So you might actually have it through all these different ways of connecting. And it's just through trusting it. The more you trust it, the more chance you've got of opening up your other channels as well to be able to connect. Yeah, if you're really strong in one, then continue with that, because there's so many people that dismiss the strength that they have because of a strength that they want to have instead.
Yeah.
And I just find that so mind-blowing. I'm like, what? Like, knowing and feeling, they're like the strongest senses, and seeing. Like, because if you think about it, we don't always believe everything we see anyway. Like, and that's just in the physical, what I mean? So why would we believe it if it was in the non-physical? So surely, if we're feeling a sensation in our body, we would know that to be more real than using our eyesight, because we're feeling it. It's a sensation. We can connect to it. We can tune into it. We can do what we will with it as well. So again, think about that for a second. It's just like there's so many different ways to connect, and you just trust the way that you do connect, because it will come through. And again, I'll probably speak to yourself, Laura, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I still don't think I'm that connected. Yeah, I'll ask you a question. I'll be like, what do you feel about this? And you'll be like, oh, I think do 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 do, and then it plays out. And I'm like, and all the time I'm going, how can you say you're not connected? Like, how can you say you're not connected? I'm like, you've literally just had a knowing of something that was going to happen, and it's happened. But again, it's that belief around it, that self-belief, like, because sometimes we can feel like, oh, me, how would I know that? Again, and this is where we have to reclaim our power within that knowing of, yes, I do know, yes, I do have this connection, because I've got a strong connection to self first, and then I'm really now bridging it out. I'm being the bridge between the non-physical and the physical, here. And this again is what we're all about. So yeah, I mean, a fabulous conversation. I keep forgetting that we're here to do the light language activation.
Yeah, let's do some
light language. This is what we're like. We just get carried away. We have no idea what we're going to talk about, all this stuff, but here we are. There's always a reason why we share what we share. So hopefully it's resonated, it's landed. You might be digesting some of it if you're new to this. Yeah, if you're well on your way, I'm sure you'll be there going, I feel you. I know, because you would have been through it yourself this year. And like I say, you're starting to feel that shift now, ready for 2026. So let's celebrate that. And we wanted to celebrate it with a light language activation. So let's just prepare our audience for all the possibilities of what could happen with this. So I'll hand it over to you, Laura. You can go through, because obviously you've been doing this, that there's so many different reactions that can happen when we're open to receiving it and experiencing it.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So what I would like to say is what I'm going to be channeling will be for your highest good. So please just, if you are open to allowing to receive, to be open to that, knowing it is for your highest good, we'll set the intention at the start to just do that, because we just need to be open. We've all got free will. So it's just really having that intention to be open to receive. So what you'll hear is almost like a different language coming out of my mouth. There might be several different types of languages. Who knows what might come through? But please try not to be in your head trying to figure out what is being said, what it means. Sometimes our human minds are not really there to sort of understand the messages that are coming through. On a soul level, you will feel something or resonate something, or even if you don't, it might unlock some knowing, remembrance, an activation, a gift, or something on some level. Consciously, you might not be aware of it. Over the coming days or weeks, you might just feel a little bit of a shift. You might feel a pull to do something. You might get clarity. You might feel like there's something that drops into your mind, an idea or something that comes through. You might see beings, you might see light beings, you might see crossed over loved ones, you might feel warm, cold sensations in the body, you might see colours. That's absolutely fine. Your body might start to want to move, your hands might move, This is light codes if your hands just start automatically moving. You might feel an energy coming up inside you. So how I describe this, sometimes when we decide we want to channel light language, I really want to do this, our mind's getting in the way and we're thinking about what's coming out of our mouth. This is an energy for me. It's coming from my womb and my body's moving. It's like it's coming up and it's coming up and it's coming up and it's out of my mouth. Like when I channel and sometimes I hear myself, I'm thinking, how am I making these noises? Like my mouth can't move that quick. I can't process this to make the noises. So what I would say is just really be in your body. If you can focus on your breath, focus on your heart space. If you feel an energy coming up, allow it to move you. Allow it to just do what it needs to do. You might feel a clearing, you might feel a cleansing, you might feel sensations. If you've got a headache or an ailment or something, you might feel that going. A lot of people do say to me that they feel like peace or tingling or whatever that is. Just trust that whatever you're feeling or experiencing is exactly what is right for you at this time. So, with that being said, I think what would be really nice is to just start with a sort of a cleansing and clearing for everybody for some of the heavy energies. You know, if there's anything that's still ready to just be let go of, let's just see if we can just do a bit of a clearing and a shedding of that. And then shall I do like a proper activation to see like get people talk, get people to be really open
Yeah,
to do this? Yeah.
let's do
Right.
it.
We'll start
Let's
with a
go for
clear.
it. Let us know actually in the comments. Do you want us to go full throttle or do you want us to be gentle? We'll leave it to you guys whilst Laura's still running through, and I'll check the comments. Yeah, and I'll give you the
Yeah.
thumbs up if it's full throttle. So let us know in the comments. Do you want to go full on in with this, or do you want us to be a little bit gentle?
Well, here's the thing as well, you can be as involved as you want or not, whilst we're doing the activation, I will just invite you to open your mouth and make noises, just conscious noises to start with, because sometimes a lot of the time when we want to speak light language, we feel like nervous about making noises. And what if we get it wrong? What if it doesn't sound right? What if it's different? What if we sound silly? What if the people in the next room can hear us, right? But actually, if you're in a place where you're quiet, you're somewhere where you're not going to be disturbed and nobody can hear you, then nobody's listening. So you do get to just open your mouth and go, and just make that noise to start with. Because when the energy does take over, who cares? Because nobody can hear you anyway. Everybody's, obviously there's nobody live on here with us, but you're all in your own space. Or if you want to come back to watch this, I'm just looking at the time, we're an hour in. So if you if you want to save this and watch this again later when you are on your own, then try it again, just keep coming back to the video and just seeing and just be more loose, more open, more free, allowing spirit to move through you. And you might be surprised at what actually happens for you. So with that being said, I would just invite everybody. Oh, go on.
I think people want to go full throttle. And I'm just going to say this as well, because this is like a running kind of like joke. We've been going beyond the veil. It's like, be careful what you wish for. But we're going full throttle, and you know what? It's such a wonderful gift. As soon as you activate it, you're going to feel like, wow, within that space. And like Laura said, if you feel like something's coming up like a bit like in this first one, come back to it and listen to it again, because it will just, it'll keep activating, it will keep wanting to come out, because, the more you build your confidence with it, like what Laura's just said, and feel comfortable with it, because honestly, it feels so strange. I felt like I had a hairball in my throat when my first activated. I was driving as well. So I was just driving and I stopped at some lights and I was going in my car, and then I just started speaking light language. And I was like, and I remember saying, am I speaking this to someone, or is someone speaking this through me? What is going on here in my car? But just be prepared for those sort of sensations as well when it's starting to come through, and come back to it if you've got a little bit more that needs to kind of clear and come through on it.
The other thing as well is when I first started, I was like just making these noises out of my mouth, and I started recording it, and I'm thinking, is this light language? Is it not? But then I think for me, if you are consciously thinking, right, I'm going to make these noises, when it's coming from your head, because you're like oh, e, there's like a delay. But when it's like it just flows. There was something else I wanted to mention as well. Oh, yes. So if you are a person who does feel your light language get activated now, sometimes it can be really slow. Sometimes it can be really fast. Sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming. You've got free will. Just say, guides, stop this. It's too much. Turn it down. Ease and grace, please. This is what I am. You can command anything you want. You have the power to do this. So you just don't feel you're not a victim to this. It's not something that is going to just happen and then you're stuck and you're just not going to be able to speak English anymore. You're just going to be light languaging everyone and everywhere. You get to choose. Yeah, you're in control of this. You are always in control. There's nothing to fear. So you just say, right, guys, turn it down. I just want to be human a little bit now, please, and just allow it to activate when it's okay for you, right? So just remember, there's nothing to fear. This is you. This is a gift that's accessible to us all. Every single person watching, listening to this on replay, it's in us all. It's just remembering. That's it. And if you are wanting your light language to activate, and if it doesn't at the moment, it's okay. There's a reason for it. There'll be a deeper reason for it. What I would say is, put the question out there to your guides. What is it that I can do to be able to access this gift? Sometimes when we're in the energy of wanting to chase because we wanted to control, because we want this, sometimes we push it away. Sometimes we're desperate for something because maybe the ego wants us to have a gift, or, it might not be for the right reasons, or maybe there's something deeper going on in terms of how we're looking after ourselves or holding ourselves, or maybe it's like me. I had such a long time of thinking, I'm not good enough. I can't connect. I can't see anybody. What's wrong with me? I'm useless. I can't, because then I can share my story. And then when it activated, then I've got my own gift and it's something different to what everybody else in my world was like. So just trust and know whatever you experience, if anything at all, is exactly what's right for you. And if you're not feeling like happy that it's not being activated or nothing came through, journal on it. Where's the learning there? What are you being shown? What is there something deeper under the surface? Because it always is. I absolutely promise you. And then give it a couple of weeks and you'll be like, oh, I get it now. It just always happens like that. Right. Okay, let's get started. So deep breaths, everybody. Let's just take some nice deep breaths in to start with. And just take some breaths in. If you just breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Just being really conscious of your breath now, inviting the breath into your body nice and steadily, intentionally. And with each breath in, just imagine that you're breathing in light into your body, feeling the air pass through your cells into your heart space. And with each breath out, just release what is no longer serving, just setting that intention now just to release. Just breathing in light and releasing what is not for your highest good. And with that, we're just going to invite in your spirit teams of everyone listening here now, live and on replay. Inviting in light beings, galactic beings, cosmic beings, any being of high vibrational frequency who wants to support with us now. Being here for everybody's highest good, with the intention that everybody listening, whether right now or on replay, receives exactly what they need for their highest good, for their soul's journey today. And with that being said, I would just like to invite you just to set the intention to be open to receiving what is right for your highest good. And just focusing on your breath and just keeping your awareness to your heart space and just receiving. Huati ono otokotiki orianari otokoriana ki otokosiana. Huati o koriano oriano kotokosiki ariana yani osanai ki osakiata. Hiosanario koti arioto kasiki otokoriana kiota. Hotokosiki ariano koto okasaki otokasi oriana I ari otokosi ariono. Horiana iario kota iato kosi io to kosa ayo no ko okori okoto okori ayana ia. Horeasa kioria. Huata ario na io katio to kosiato oto no okoriana kiata. Horio nasaki ario to sani ano kotokoria. Hioto kosa ayana orio no orio kotoriana. Haya no sikia ayoto niana kioto kosi ioto koriana. Huatasia ianoko iata ioto ayana iasa iarioto kariana iato koti. Ioto kosa iana saki uto sa ayana kioto. Io saya ayoka oto no. Io to oto kota yana ya ukari oto kosi iano koto ayana na ia koriana kiata. Hiasa ki ariona ki oriono. Huota no kosa ia ariana. So now I'm just going to set the intention to receive a cleansing, clearing. What is right for you right now? What is ready to be let go of? Kiata ioto okoto to oto kota I ayaka kakarioto kasa ayana yokoto kia. Hioto koasaki oriano koriana iokoto koria I aioto ariona. Horioko oriano kasiana. Ioko siki oriana iano koriana. Hoario no kota ioto orio no kosa. Ioka oario no okota ia iokodia. Oaniani ikato kosia. Oko ariano ukoto kosiki aniono. Hoariano saki ota iona kasa. Ioriana iokota iosani ionana iadio no koriana. Koto kosi io oriano kosa oriana. Hario kiato hoatiki okota okoti igni otokuria iana iokoto orioto kata tatututu iano tatutu oriana kita ariototo oki tititi otoria aya tatata diototo oriana tatututu katatiti otoria aya koto oriana nana yaskoto kati ayata kata si okoto iano kota ayana nana yato koto koriana sakiato koria Huariana sakoria no kutukuria oriana na 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 io toto oki atoro o sakiki oriana na na okata o ya toto oriana na 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 aya toto oriana na oriana okutokoria okata ayana na ya tokorio o toto oriana asa ario toko se ayana kiata huariana koriana. Okay, and just take a deep breath in. So those of you who would like to activate your light language, if it hasn't already popped off, what I would do is just invite you now just to open your own mouth and just allow noise to come out. That might just be an ah. Sometimes I say to people, just go abaka, and just allow that to shift and change. Sometimes it is just making that noise and just allowing that throat to be open, which is the resistance. So just make some noise. Nobody's listening, nobody's hearing you. It's just you. So there's no judgment at all. Just release any worries that you've got. And just, yeah, like I say, I'm just going to channel the light language. And if you feel like you want to stray from what you're saying, that's fine. Just allow anything to come through. Sia dioriana ki autokoriana katokoriana no okotaka siki ari otokoriana. Huakasiki otokosiki orio no kotokoria iaria dario tokoriana kiata. Huorio no caso corianario corianiaria sikiata. Huario kota casa ianio coriana. Iano ko ukusiki ario to coriana. Hiania sakiario to coriana kiasa kiatoko. Oria na yo corioriana sa. Huasakiario no ko o saniana kiato. Iasakiario ko uso noria naria ki aria sokorianikia. Ayaniana ayayayayaya sikiata kosakiata. Iasukoria nakiare ayokota kasiana. Wayana kia iana koti wariana soriana. Huariana kario sokiara. Huaniana kario oriana. Iasakiata. Huariana ya no koto koriani kiato koriana kiato. Huariana kiasa. Harioriano oriana kioriana siana nanarioriana kiariano koriani aniana sia. Arionariano cario cotoriana sariana nario totoriana kiara. Ayo coriana sakioriana sakario tokoriana kia. Ayo cario catoria nasia reatoria nario tocatario tocotoria siquiata. Juario tocosoria nakia reotoria nacario totoria. Hiario sakiata. And if you are experiencing light language coming through, just allow it just to come. Just knowing that you are channeling beautiful energy right now. And when you're ready, just take some nice deep breaths, grounding you back into this moment, back into the earth. We're just going to ask your guides, angels, guardians, higher self, just to readjust your energy field. Kia tokoria nakaria tokotoria nananaria tokotiki otokoria sakiaria oria nakioto oria nakia tokoria kia atakaria kotokoria sikiata. And setting the intention that the awareness that is right for you will just drop in at exactly the right time, just bringing you peace and calm, knowing that. Sialtiata sa ealtaria alcoria nakiata. Kutokoria na ariosokoria nakioto kosikiata. And then when you're ready, just some deep breaths back into your body. And then just come back to the beautiful Serena and I. That's a big smile on your face, Serena.
No, it felt so joyful. You know, like I was like, gosh, how yours is developed. I was like, are you singing it as well now? I was like, wow. Like I was like, you're just like, it was beautiful when you were singing it. It was like so much. I saw so much yellow and like sunflowers and joy coming in, and I was just like, that's why I was smiling. I was beaming because I was just like, oh, yeah. But it activated my light language. My light language was going off. Mine's all like clicks. So again, you might notice that your light language is different. So it can be like just clicks and sounds. Like mine's like a like that when I'm doing mine. Whereas with Laura, in yours even changes from, it depends on what your intention is, isn't it? And who you're channeling through, you know, when you're doing this. And if you want to connect to what the energy is, then really sit with it as well and connect with it, because, you know, once you do that, you'll have a relationship with it and you'll be able to understand what it is. You'll be able to translate it and you'll know exactly where it is coming from, what lineage that it's coming from as well within that. But it's nothing to be afraid of. It is absolutely beautiful light energy that's coming through us, and it is, like I say, it's a transmission. So hopefully you felt that. I felt it first. I felt the heart opening, expanding the first time you know, when you were first doing your light language. And then I felt the cleansing, and I was seeing like real you know, like a kaleidoscope, sacred geometry, like a proper kaleidoscope, like going round. I was like, oh, whoa, that's intense, you know. So again, let us know. Did you have any visions, any visuals that aided it? Did you feel any noises trying to come out? Did you feel something maybe just in your throat? Did you feel your heart opening? Because these are all signs of when you're starting to open up to, you know, the possibility of activating your gift here, as well as, like I say, receiving the cleansing. So let us know what you experienced through that. Maybe you got a little bit emotional. I know a lot of people get emotional when they're listening to it, because again, we were doing some cleansing. So there might have been something within that needed to be cleansed, or like I say, within the heart space to expand it so that you connected to your heart as you're channeling it, because, you know, we're here to channel the light. We're not here to channel any darkness. We're here to channel the light. So, you know, we need to make sure that it's coming from pure intentions and our heart is open within that space as we're activating it and receiving it. So let us know. Oh, Dave's put, oh my God, my head is wide open. Your head's always wide open, Dave.
I was
There's
gonna
always
say
just
as
doing some
well.
sort of activations like in
Ah,
our community. Dave's a Veiler, so we hear a lot about his amazing, phenomenal upgrades. He is going through it with the frequencies,
I was
as well
gonna
as
say
Bianca.
as
Oh,
well.
Bianca's here as well. Oh, lots of light language coming through. So Bianca's light language was activated by Laura a couple of weeks ago, because Laura in her group, she's doing these Sunday light language activations. Am I right in saying that? It's on Sunday, isn't it? So if you do want to be a part of Laura's world, look out for that. Laura's going to share more about going beyond the veil, going beyond the galactic veil, sessions that she holds with light language activations.
I
Actually, you
was
can speak to it now whilst I read through the comments.
Yeah, I was just gonna say as well, so sometimes with light language, we can feel a little bit scared or fearful. Now, the reason for that is, remember, for you as a soul that is housed in this physical body here on this 3D earth, you are so much bigger than your body, right? And so your soul is connected to multiple dimensions, multiple lifetimes. And with that, there's lots of different lifetimes, right, where you might have used your light language and you might have been persecuted for it. So if there's something there where you're feeling a little bit like, oh, that felt a little bit scary, or, feel into that, because there is such thing as the witch wound or the galactic wound, where in past lives, we have shown up as our soul selves and our beautiful divine light, and we have been persecuted for it. So that'll be just something that's ready to be cleared and to moved on. With light language, I believe, for me, and whether or not this resonates with anybody watching, I believe that we're always channeling our own higher soul. So rather than channeling other beings, I believe we're connected to our higher self, and what comes through is our soul self. But that's my belief. So whatever you're channeling will be your higher self, what you're connected to, that higher soul. So just if you want clarity on that, again, ask your spirit guides or ask your higher self. Sometimes we believe we've got spirit guides, sometimes we believe we've got light beings, sometimes we believe we've got angels, sometimes we believe it's our higher self. Whatever resonates with you, just put it out there. I want clarity. What is this? Next time you're on YouTube or social media, chances are a post will show up, which will just clarify exactly what you probably already feel inside of you, just to clarify that. But as Serena said, do you know what? I was your first ever Going Beyond the Veil facilitator, weren't I? Do you remember?
Yes,
Not
you
galactic,
was, my
and
darling.
galactic as well, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
What
yeah,
a
obviously,
journey! What a ride!
I know I'm a Going Beyond the Veil facilitator, and I know I haven't been active in this group because I've been on a whole wild ride, learning lots of other things and doing lots of other things. But yes, I am opening my diary up again now to hold Going Beyond the Veil sessions, both normal ones and galactic ones, if that's what you feel called to, and with the intention to activate light language if that's what you want. And we can do that. We've had lots of huge success as well holding those sessions. So I've opened my diary. I am going to Thailand tomorrow, so I can only do sessions morning time between, I think I've put 9 and 1 p.m. But yeah, if you want to book in with me, just drop me a message and we'll see what we can do, because I'm obviously working while I'm away, because this is now my new lifestyle, right? Exactly what I've created for myself. So yeah, it'd be great to work one-to-one with anybody who wants to do that.
And these sessions are so powerful. Like we say, we've honestly, you should see the comments afterwards, Laura. They're so funny. Like, obviously, when it's like full throttle, and then people sharing their experiences. So, it's gone now. Oh, Miranda has put, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that this is what I was experiencing when I was washing the pots and started coming out with words I didn't even know. Thank you so much. It all makes sense now. So this is the thing, like most of us have actually, been speaking it or talking it and not knowing, even our kids, like how many of us think our kids speak gobbledygook and it's actually light language? Like my son speaks, like you've heard my son, he speaks like noises and squeaks all the time. And when I was in a meditation once, my guides told me that that's his light language. And I was was like, oh my goodness, I had no idea. So yes, if this is something that you're wanting activating, or you just want to be held in this space, you're curious about going beyond the veil. We've got loads of going beyond the veil facilitators, obviously, in the group. Yet we're here. We're talking about Laura, and Laura is here to hold you and activate you, in this way. And not just that, even if you don't want your light language activating, Laura will, if she's feeling called, because we channel information in these sessions too. She will give you that light language healing. Like I say, I ask Laura for voice notes of light language to clear my path constantly. Like I say, if I'm met with an obstacle or I want, something to happen, and like I say, it could be small things, it could be big things. Yeah, I ask Laura because I know how powerful her light language is. So again, while she's holding this space for you, she will either, like I say, set the intention so you activate your light language, or you'll receive light language, because it's an additional energy healing practice transmission. So it's extremely powerful. So Laura, pop up your details after this live, please, so people know how to find you and book in with you. And I'm sure they'll love seeing all your different locations in Thailand, because you're going to be in Thailand from 6 weeks tomorrow. Again, this is Laura from saying that she's gone from homeless this year to now spending 6 weeks in Thailand. So again, all this through having full faith, full trust in the divine, and knowing that every lesson is a blessing. Yeah, because it is. All right, my darlings, we're going to love you and leave you there. We will be back soon. We might do another live chat soon. What do you reckon, Laura? You up for it? If you've enjoyed it, let us know. If you'd like to see more of us live, let us know in the comments. Show us some love, and we might just show up before Christmas as well, probably close to the winter solstice. And we will be running another event soon. The doors will be open again very soon if you are considering becoming a Going Beyond the Veil facilitator and joining just our wonderful community, where honestly we've been having a right laugh recently in our community, and we've also been sharing amazing gifts as well from other facilitators holding sessions in Qigong. We've had I can't remember what it was called now, silent counseling. We've had all sorts, within our group from other facilitators sharing their gifts as well. So we've been held through amazing things together collectively recently. So if you are considering, or you want to know more about it, come to one of our live events. There will be one in January, towards the end of January. If you want to know any more about it, please reach out to me. If you're on my mailing list, you will receive information very, very soon about it. And we'll be bringing you another live event. Like these lives, we like to bring the vibe, we like to bring the energy, we like to be raw, we like to be real, we like to be honest, transparent, about the journey. Like I say, it's not all love and light at times. Sometimes there's real challenges that we go through. Yet the best thing about it is that when you have a spiritual connection, you never feel like you're alone going through anything. And like I say, that those lessons can quickly turn into blessings. And they do, once you have that connection, like I say, connection to self first, and then connection to all that is, and then just watch as those miracles come your way from doing that work, doing the inner work, and just strengthening your devotion, in your practice to the divine. And that can be through a multitude of ways, which we'll share more of soon, my loves, because we've kept you long enough. Thank you if you're still here with us. We appreciate each and every one of you. We're sending you massive waves of love and light, like we always do. And we look forward to seeing you all soon, my loves. Have a beautiful, blessed Sunday, and we'll catch you all soon. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.